Are you looking for the best seafood boil in Hampton Roads? Boil Bay, hands down, has the best Cajun seafood boil in the 757. Get a seafood combo with choices of Alaskan snow crab legs, shrimp, raw fish, green mussels, with choice of sauce. Boil Bay sauce being the best option. Not to forget our incredible po' boy sandwiches. Boil Bay has a full bar including specialty cocktails, live music every Friday and Saturday night with happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 12:30 to 6. Ladies' night is every Wednesday. Come out to Boil Bay Cajun Seafood on Holland Road in Virginia Beach, where we've got happiness in the bag. Boil Bay is a proud sponsor of Passing the Bar podcast.
Working out. Fucking working out.
Just have it.
So
It's a Thin Mint cookie, man.
man, that's yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying that if no one else is at some point.
There's two of all of them, so.
Oh, done. Okay.
Guys, welcome back to Passing the Bar podcast, where we're a group of bartenders talking about the ups and the downs of the industry and all the social issues that we deal with. My name is Chris Pryor, and today I'm joined by Evan.
Hey guys, I'm back.
And Steve.
What's going on?
Our special guest today is from Flying Dog Brewery out of Maryland, Jason King.
What's going on, guys?
Flying Dog Brewery, Jason. You guys make some pretty good fucking beer. Fact.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
absolutely.
Well, thank you.
I was just talking about that.
Yeah. Like what the all you can eat breakfast style that you're having right now?
It's amazing. First time I had it, it's very, very good. And it brings me back to when I used to drink stouts all the time. This is something that would pull me back into that realm of drinking stouts again. On the regular. Speaking of gym, I'll probably have to do that afterwards too, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that goes with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, stouts don't go with the gym.
They stick with you just as bad as IPAs do, if not more. Especially
dropping
these,
ass,
especially these
trying to
Imperials.
And it says literally all you can drink.
Yeah.
Or eat. Well,
Yeah. All you can eat.
So the brewery, is it Frederick, Maryland?
Frederick, Maryland.
Frederick, Maryland.
So essentially on a map, Baltimore's to the right of D.C. and we're to the left about the same distance.
So your job, essentially, is to build accounts and break into this area down here. Is it what's your territory?
So essentially I'm a little north of Williamsburg, like the Tano, however you say, Tano area,
No one
all the way
knows.
to the ocean front. And essentially I follow the Ches Bay footprint in that aspect. Flying Dog's been around for a little while in this market, but they just never had representation down here. So this year, it presented a really, really cool opportunity for me coming from the distributor side to basically just take the numbers they had, because about 80% of their business was like grocery chains, convenience stores, stuff like that, where it's kind of does its own thing, and break it into the on-premise. Like y'all said, the people love the beer. It's just a matter of getting the right beers in front of the right people in the right accounts, and kind of growing it in that aspect.
So your history. Speaking about Ches Bay, what's your history in this whole beer universe?
Truth. I'll elevator version, I guess, the
Yeah.
best I can. I actually started at Ches Bay when it was Norfolk Beverage, coming out of high school, just cleaning draft taps. Like I came out of Harbor Park. I'd worked in the warehouse in Harbor Park and just picked up a full-time job after I graduated. Kind of worked up through the ranks from there to draft trucks to package trucks and so on. That's when you sold it right off the truck. What you took out is what you sold.
What? That was a thing?
Oh, yeah.
You guys like pushing, man.
It's good.
wild.
Good all day.
What
you want that?
baby?
I
What you
got
want?
it. Yeah.
Come easy yet?
Door number
you?
5, you know?
25% off. I got it.
Well, if I buy those, can I get that? Let's talk. So essentially, I was there for a few years. I ended up at Hoffman, the Anheuser-Busch house locally, for about 6 years. Took a little beverage hiatus. Did the longshoreman thing, like with a lot of my family's out on the longshoreman, on the waterfront. Respect to them. That's a crazy business. Those people are monsters out there. Much respect.
A lot of hours, right?
Just crazy hours, like stuff, and it's just the machinery and just the stuff. An accident out there, you don't get to go home.
Right.
It's just to grind and have that real hustle. You're on call all the time. You got to get to work when it's there. So kind of the recession kind of killed that. I went to get back and ended up at Pepsi for like 6 years, and ended up back in the beer. And here we are through Ches Bay a couple more years. They the new Reyes group had bought Ches Bay back then, so the management had changed, and any issues that were before were kind of gone, as y'all probably know on y'all's end. And Reyes is just a monster in its own, largest distributor in the country. You know, they kind of made it worthwhile to come back into the business that I missed. I missed that hustle. And then this opportunity came open, and here we are.
Yeah. When you talk about, so we had Mr. Patrick Collins on this
The
this
man.
podcast. Super
Shout out.
The legend.
And he had a
super
similar start
awesome
too.
guy. Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
the way you're talking, I'm like, that's cool, man. It's like you're on your way to being president of some distribution company right now.
I got some work to do. Yeah,
you're
but-
pretty much saying the same story that he put out there. But as far as like you said, so the Reyes group came in a couple years ago,
Yeah, they bought Chesbey about, I'm not sure the exact. I want to say.
and then you said there was issues in the past that we dealt with on our side. And so I was going to bring that up before with like Patrick Collins, stuff like that. As far as, and I never really had any hard issues with Chesbey in the past. As far as most of the time, I was just a bartender, and even on the management side, there was nothing really heavy. But I did hear a lot of stuff in the past about old Chesbey, and that had to do with
It was an old school mentality there.
distribution, lack of what do you call service or customer service? I guess you would say. Was that the issue?
Maybe not as much the customer service. It was just the environment wasn't. You spent a lot of time at that job and more than your family sometimes. And
Oh, right.
When you
Quality of life.
Yeah, it just when
Yeah.
it was in doubt sometimes. So with Reyes came in and yeah, they're this big corporate conglomerate, but they don't act like it. They still
Right.
act like the local. They treat you like that.
Right.
And it is a huge family, and that vibe it's contagious. To where when you're out here grinding and breaking your backs, and
That's cool,
It's
man.
worth it. So it was worth it for me from what I saw through, because obviously I've been doing it long enough that I still have a lot of friends in both sides of the company, and it was just like it felt right, and I missed the grind. So
That's cool, man.
Speaking of family, you guys treated me like family when we were up in Baltimore, Flying Dog, and watching everyone interact from your ownership side down to like the family that was actually there too. The different sales. I can't remember the girl's name.
the sales rep,
Yeah.
that'd be Paige. She's one of
Paige.
our Baltimore reps.
Yeah, like just everyone. Just,
Shout out Paige and Carl in Baltimore.
Yeah, shout out to Paige. It was just super cool. You know what I mean? Like everyone just. I think what really kind of like pitched me on it was everybody was just like very inviting, very cool. You know what I mean? Like, granted that we were up there at a Baltimore Ravens football game too. You know what I mean? But it was just like whatever you need, man. You guys are Mikasa su casa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
I'll like, it'll sound a little cliche, but I'll attest to that. Is I left a big conglomerate like Reyes, which was kind of scary in that aspect, to leave that to take a chance. But it was a brewery I truly believed in, and you've heard things for years, and you've seen everything they stand for, from the freedom of expression, freedom of speech. At the end of the day, we sell beer, and it's supposed to be fun. And you get up there, and I knew going in, I'm kind of on an island down here. And my boss hates when I say that, but they've never let me feel like that.
Right.
Up there, that's the home market, Frederick,
Right.
DC, Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
And we're huge up there. But, down here we're building, and we've got a lot of steam, but they don't ever let me feel like that. When I go up to the brewery for events, meetings, or we go to events like that in Baltimore, you never, ever feel, it's like you've been there forever.
Right.
And it's just, it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty great company.
Speaking of events, huge shout out to you and also your boss and everybody else that put that fucking like opportunity together. I was able to go to the Ravens Patriots game with Jason here, and I took my cousin Aaron, who's a Patriots fan also, and and I think Bob Oates, Bob came with us too. And that was just a all around straight up fucking VIP experience. You know what I mean? And I remember when we got up there, like I didn't tell Aaron that he was gonna. That I just told him that we were going to the game. I never told him anything about the field.
Right.
The fucking that there were
perfect.
that there was gonna be that we had like a suite. You know what I mean? That there was like boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
fucking
went in
box-
blind.
Yeah,
He had
he's
no
just
idea.
like, fuck it,
that's
I'm
amazing.
going,
He's such a big brother, dude. That's fucking perfect. Yeah.
So
He's just taking me to the game.
Surprise.
So we get to the hotel.
That's great.
And Jason and Bob show up. He's like, "Man, you ready to go on the field?" And Aaron's face is like, "What? Field?" Yeah. He's like, "Fuck, did I just ruin the moment?" I'm like, "Nah, it's great, dude. We're here.
perfect. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're only so far out. You know what I mean? From
awesome.
that. But that was a cool experience. We get there. I'm just gonna explain the story. We get there and we get into the stadium. And I'm gonna call him our handler. But this guy Chris, he pops up and he's like, "Sorry guys,
Point of contact.
yeah, point of contact, handler, whatever." Chris is like, "Hey man, you guys want to go? You guys ready to go down on the field?" And we're like, okay. He's like, oh, take this band, snap, 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 put it on your wrist, follow me. We're like, oh, fuck, all right, let's do it. So here we are, like, walking down the fucking stands, you know, towards, like, the field, and everybody's
hating you, eyeballing you, like, who are y'all?
Yeah, we're just like,
fuck are these guys?
Excuse me, you know, just excuse me. And then we, like, get down there, and the guy, like, you know, the fucking field attendant just kind of looks over, sees our wristbands, and he's like, "Oh, go ahead, guys!" Like dap the dude up, you know.
yeah.
And then we're like on the field, and this is like my first time ever on an NFL field.
Right.
Oh,
that's
great. I've been like all around because I'm a Ravens fan, so I've been all around that stadium. I've been from the shittiest seats all the way up to your backs on like the fence. You know what I mean? Down to like the first row where you're like fucking sitting there. You know, and you can, like, if you leaned over far enough, you can probably touch the top of somebody's helmet.
That's awesome.
But never, like, physically on the field. So that was, like, super surreal. The lights are great. The energy in the fucking place was fucking cool.
Insane.
Before that, too,
yeah.
like, we got an opportunity to tailgate, you know, with the Flying Dog guys. And just so happens that we were also in the same area as Steve Buscetti's partner from Aerotech, too. So we were, like, bouncing in between like these two like tailgates. So we get to this field.
And Baltimore tailgates, I was very impressed.
They were like, because it's like you got the stadium and then like all the parking lots around, and, like all the bridges and shit that go over over the parking lots. So it's like there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? We got like bands over here, fucking stadium set up over here. This old firehouse has turned into a fucking bar over here. You know, and they're all selling Flying Dog beer, which is like dope.
That's
awesome. Because it's like Jason's repping hard as fuck. He's got his like
Jason's like, let me just dust off my shoulders real quick.
But we get down there, man, and you know, we're sitting there, we're taking a bunch of photos and everything, and from my experience, like I hear, "Yo, Chris," and I'm like, nah, there's no way that like, you know what I mean? Like I've already ran into somebody that I knew from like the 757 area, but at a bar, and I'm like, there's no way that somebody in there, yo, Chris Pryor, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I turn around, and it's my buddy Torrey Smith, who just so happened to be at the game also, and he's like maybe 20 feet away from me.
It was the Ed Reed
Ed Reed
Hall of Fame, you know, ceremony during the halftime.
So he was there to kind of like, you know, give thanks to Ed Reed or whatever. So he's like there. So he walks over, we start chit-chatting or whatever. And we're sitting there talking and shit. And our point of contact, our handler, Chris, when we get finished, he's like, you know Torrey Smith? And I'm like, yeah, you know, like we played football together back in like middle and high school. You know, he was my quarterback. It's my homie.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, give me a second. He like kind of like goes away, you know, and he comes back and he's like, you guys mind being on TV? Right? And we're like, what? And he's like, they got this thing, this is like Verizon area, you know, and you know, I just want to know if you guys are down to go. Like, I mean, there's a fucking bear shit in the woods. Like, yeah, let's fucking go. You know,
I want to be on TV.
Yeah. So yeah.
Look, here I am. You see it? Just hold on. Let's get the.
So he leaves again, comes back with more fucking passes and lanyards. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, put these on. We're like, okay, cool. So now I've got this fucking band. I got this fucking lanyard with a fucking you know, with a fucking pass in it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So we walk essentially across the field. Like there was only an area that you could only stay in.
The one tunnel.
Into the tunnel. Like across the field, past the fucking players, past both teams, into the tunnel. And I'm like, okay, this is like dope. You know what I mean? Like
right.
This is where the players run out of.
Yeah.
You know, like this is like crazy, man. So we get back there, we're all like, okay, this is like some next level shit. There's no way this could ever happen again, you know. So I'm like videotaping, and we keep walking. We walk again past a group of people, and, you know, the security guards and shit, and there nobody's like, no one's giving us that like, look.
What are y'all doing here?
Yeah, they're just like, all right, okay, cool, sounds good. These guys are cool. And they walk us outside of these two double doors with Raven emblems on them, and they're like, okay, you know, you guys stay right here. Here are the PSL owners that, you know, they get an opportunity to come down and, you know, kind of cheer on the players as they come out of the locker room. And we're like, fucking locker room. That's a fucking locker room? You fucking serious?
Like,
like
where that wall is at.
Yeah, right here.
We're up on the guardrail. Like, we're looking like, all right.
Yeah, this is like, you serious? They're like, yeah. So then, of course, like, Patriots come back and go into the locker room and everybody's like, boo, boo. So it's like
they're a little ways up.
Yeah. They're like they are like maybe it's like
just
40
pointing
they're
at
like
me.
40 feet.